If you want to become the woman that people cannot help but buy from on repeat and create that obsession where people trust you so much they just want to throw money at you for your services because they know you're doing good shit. I know you already know you're doing good shit. I know that you already know that there are some people with half of your talent making millions. You're wondering, what is the gap? How do I really make millions? How do I make my passion so profitable that I can do it over and over again and help more people and serve more people? In today's video, I will share with you one simple shift that will change everything in your brand so that you can build a brand without a large audience, without burning out with content, without just going insane or feeling like you're trying so hard and you're so freaking tired of social media that you would rather walk with a big sign on you saying, "This is what I do, please hire me," in the streets because it's exhausting and you're burned out. And I'm telling you that because this is literally what one of my clients told me right before she hired. She was like, "I'm so burnt out with content and I feel like I'm spending all of my days being an influencer, working on one piece of content every single day. It takes me hours in between the recording of the thing, the edit of the things, going through her camera roll to find the perfect images to create the content, trying to script it, trying to find a good hook, feeling like she sucked at finding good hooks and feeling like she was just throwing all of that into the fucking void. Like no one was actually listening to her and no one was turning into paying customers. So what she did is that she then went into a different strategy, which was outreach, and she called DM 500 people. Can you imagine the determination of this girl? Can you imagine of how hardworking she is, how she really wants it so badly? She's been so consistent. She's been posting every single day, even with no results. What kind of woman it takes, to be that strong, that resilient? I mean, I'm really so impressed by her, so impressed by her consistency. Half of the clients I work with, actually not even half, like 95% of the client I work with don't even have that drive and determination to keep going. I've recognized it in myself too, where I kept going, but at some point I burned out so much, I drop it. Like you don't even want to show up anymore. And so what happens next, in my case, is that I was then crying about the algorithm. I was crying about shadowbanned. Girl, let me tell you, saying that it was shadowbanned was like my favorite thing on earth. I remember in Mexico, in the streets of Mexico, meeting new entrepreneurs every day in cute coffee and saying to them, well, yeah, business is a little slow right now because I'm shadowbanned. And that was like my favorite thing to say to even fucking strangers that didn't know anything about me. I just wanted to say I'm shadowbanned. And that was really easy to say that because I was talking about sensuality and sacred sexuality and everything. So I was like, of course I'm shadowbanned. Like people don't like that. Instagram doesn't like that. And I really felt like Instagram was this mean monster that was against me and that was preventing me from living the life I truly wanted to live. To the fucking point that I was blind to the fact that I made enough money to be in Mexico in the first place with a tiny audience. So there must have been something to it. You know what I mean? I was able to create my dream fucking life. Always dreamt of living in the Caribbean and working from the beach and working from my rooftop in the pool, naked, taking coaching calls. Like that was a fucking dream. And I made it happen with a smaller audience and, an algorithm that was the same algorithm that I then pretended I was shadowbanned from. And when I say dream life, I'm saying dream life. I used to be in Netherlands. I followed someone I fell in love with in Bali doing my yoga teacher training, moved to Netherlands. I lived in one room in a bigger house. We rented a room, not even an apartment, a room. The door, the shower was just a door. You just opened a door and that was the shower. You didn't even have a bathroom. And I was cold every single day, driving my shitty bike to a shitty job in a factory. I worked in a line production factory assembling sandwiches in the cold, in an environment with people that were not kind, where you had to go fast because it's a line production work. So you have to assemble those sandwiches and do whatever. I went from that to working my ass off in my business, manifesting my dream life, moving to Mexico, living in Playa del Carmen with amazing friends that were also entrepreneurs, finding my tribe, finding my people, feeling like I finally made it, like all of my dreams, everything I wanted. But then slowly, because I didn't build the structure and the strategy behind my brand, and it was relying maybe too much on energetics and manifestation, and because I was such high vibe, I could maintain that and grow my income from that for a while. But then it all collapsed because I didn't have a backbone of my business to hold it. I'm saying that because I made that happen. One of my biggest ultimate dream with less followers and the exact same algorithm. So when I started to cry about being shadowbanned, when I started to cry about not having enough eyeballs on my work, I was just finding excuses for my lack of results. It was easier to blame the algorithm than it was to take responsibility for at least 3 things. When we are not converting the few people, even if you have 6 people watching your stories. I literally met an amazing, incredible girl right now in the business mastermind that I'm part of. Her name is Salome. She's so cute, so fun, so good at what she does. And she's so good at converting that sometimes her story views are 6 people and she still converts those 6 people. Why? Because she is incredible at messaging. And this is the topic of today's podcast. One of 3 things are happening if you are not building the kind of brand that people are obsessed with and people want to buy from on repeat. And it's never about the amount of followers, and it's never about the algorithm. And honey, I just want you to stop this shit. And I'm saying that from my heart because it's wasting time of your life, because you feel so defeated because you're not showing up anymore. You're just finding excuses for something that you can take ownership of and become better at. And your people need you. Your people that you're meant to help with your work, they need you. And you're here stuck in your excuses. You're stuck in blaming outside circumstances. You want to be part of a game. You want to be part of social media, you want to be on Instagram, you kind of like Instagram, you kind of like YouTube, you like all those platforms, but you don't want to play by the rules because you think you're so much better, because you think that you're such a rebel and that you should be able to change society and that you don't want to be repressed in your expression. So you just want to talk about whatever you want and you're shadow banned and you just don't want to play by the rules. I'm the kind of person who is living a very, very unconventional life. My parents, my background, my environment for where I was born in, a very small town in France, don't get a thing about what I do. They just don't get it. We're not on the same wavelength. I'm so different. I didn't follow the path that was paved for me. So hear me out. When I say that you're not following by the rules, I don't say that often. I say that with meaning of if you want an online presence, a successful online business, sometimes it's about playing by the rules and still expressing what you want to express and stop feeling like a victim of a system. You know that in your dating life because I know you've been through that healing. You know that in your mindset journey, and I know you've been through that journey too. I know that you read the books. I know that you listen to the podcast. I know that you're doing the exercises, and I know that you cannot stand people that are stuck in their victim mindset because they don't fucking grow. So why would you be in your victim mindset in your fucking business? Girl, we gotta fix that. As you can tell, I have absolutely no script today. It's just you and me. I wasn't even supposed to record this podcast today because I really wanted to honor that I kind of wanted a break. I kind of wanted a break this week, girl. I was so deep into hard work right now. I'm so deep into hustle mode. I'm so deep into the work, and it's energizing. It's not exhausting. It's energizing. I'm loving it. I'm in that season where I can work 12 hours nonstop. No food and no sleep, no pee break needed. And this is the energy that I'm in right now. And I had to come out of it a little bit yesterday to realize, well, my man is feeling a little left behind because of that. And he didn't work that much yesterday. So instead, I decided I will treat him like the king that he is and to have some sexy time and to nourish myself in this way. I'm sharing that with you because as much as this video is going to be about hustle and work and girl, you should do it, It's always nuanced. It has to be nuanced. It needs to be nuanced. You're gonna be producing your best work if you're also very nourished and you don't forget why you work so hard in the first place. You worked so hard so that you can enjoy your life, so that you can be the embodiment of freedom that you're looking, of this life that wasn't presented to you when you grew up, and creating something that is yours where you're making millions doing what you love, serving your people. Maybe you don't even want to actually make millions. I say that because it's catchy. Maybe you don't even need millions to be happy and to be fulfilled and to actually help more people. But I know you want to help people with your work, and I know that is important for you. And I know that if you're spending so much time exhausting yourself creating something and it doesn't produce the results, you're feeling so defeated and you're feeling sad. And I don't want you sad, because sad is keeping you even further away from you helping and serving your people. So let's circle back. If you're not turning the 6 people that are watching your stories or your content in general into buying customer, one of 3 things are happening. The first one, maybe you're not grabbing their attention. So this is where you do deeper work around hooks, around how to grab attention. There is 2 different things to know that are really important when it comes to grabbing attention and hooks. Hooks is the art of stopping someone in their doom scroll. I mean, you're like, duh, Lika, I knew that already. Of course you know that. You're not fucking dumb. But what we tend to forget is what actually makes someone stops. What makes you stop? You think it's that perfect formula. You can download so many freebies right now from Instagram gurus telling you viral hooks, things that will make your video go viral, things that will stop the scroll, and you have like 100 hooks, different hooks. They are good, they work, but we need to understand the anatomy of the hook so that you don't have to always use a formula or a template, and you actually understand how to captivate attention. Why do you stop? Do you stop because they say the number one reason why I stopped doing this and started doing that? Do you stop because they say, here are 5 ways to lose weight? No, you are stopping not because of the structure of the hook, but because in the hook, there is something you want. There is something that activates a part of you with a deep desire, or that talks directly to something that you're experiencing right now that is uncomfortable, and you're actively or not actively, and you're unconsciously looking for a solution. I'm working with people in different industries. If, for example, a relationship coach is saying 5 ways to heal your anxious attachment, would you put your money? Will it grab your attention? Fuck no. But if she's saying to you how to turn any man into husband material, you're paying more attention. The hook is not just the formula, it's not just the structure, it's also hooking her with something that she wants, something that she dreams about, something that she think about. Which leads me to point number 2. Remember, if you're not turning the 6 people that are watching your shit into paid customers, and customers that are happy to pay you, you know, my coach recently said something that I loved. She was like, paid on time, in full, and with a smile. So that's exactly what we want. This is what I want too. I want people to pay on time, in full, and with a smile. By that, of course, we just want people that are happy to work with us and that feel excited because they invested in themselves through our work and our expertise. And that's fucking amazing. That's the case for service providers and coaches and everything, but that's also the case with, if you're a photographer, you want people to be so happy to invest in you because they're making a gift to themselves, right? It's not even about you. It's not even about your work. This is the best part. So anyway, second thing is the most important, and it's actually very, very connected to the first one, but it's your messaging. In messaging is like a big part of any business and any marketing strategy. And so the hook is going to be part of it. But I wanted to talk about the hook first because you have to think about it. Your store, I love to think about my business as a physical store. If I had a boutique, if I had a store, I would want my store to look very particular in my head. I have a very strong vision of what it would look like. I would have beautiful shelves and everything will have like the sweetest, most creative packaging. It would look super luxurious, and the textures, if you touch the products, would be so sensual and so activating, and it would look really, really beautiful. And it would have handwritten notes, because that's my version of luxury. That's my version of premium. Like, you put extra care, extra intentions. Everything will be intentionally placed in the store to really make sense. There will be a story behind everything. I would pay a lot of attention to every single details, and I will pay a lot of attention of how people feel in my store. I will make sure that the lighting is very nice, that it's warm, that it's inviting, and my presence as I welcome people in my store, I will also really pay attention to that. And the reason why I'm saying that is that I know that inside my store, it's going to be the best experience of their lives. And they're going to walk away so happy about their shopping experience because of everything I created. And they will going to walk home with this product that is going to change their life and make their life 10 times better. But the whole process of how they've been sold to is very pleasurable. The thing that I often forgot is that I know it's great inside. I know I'm good at what I do. You know you're good at what you do. But we forget that before people enter the store, we need a really good storefront. If you just have nothing, if it's just like a black thing and you don't have like a way to invite people into your world, if people haven't heard about you from someone else, you know, maybe you have this elite secret door, you know, somewhere, and it's just people who know. But if not, people are just going to walk in the street and they need a way to recognize like, oh, that looks like a cool store to walk into. I'm curious now. So that's what we want to create with hooks. We want to open curiosity to get to know you more, to listen to what you have to say next. And so the reason why I put it first is because sometimes we focus so much of our energy into creating the perfect Instagram post or the perfect video, and we don't think about titles, hooks, subtitles, and so we lose people's attention before we even get to the juicy part. I have seen that too recently with sales pages. I'm taking this course on messaging to take my messaging even deeper. So watch out, because it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm learning so much. And so I'm taking this course with other women from my mastermind. We decided to do it at the same time. And so we're reviewing each other's sales pages. And first of all, when I came to mine, I was like, oh my God, it sucks. It sucks so much. I don't really have space to like fix it right now because I have so many other projects and my clients always come first. But watch out, because those sales pages are gonna disappear. They're so bad. They really suck. And that was my problem for a long time. That is also the problem that some other girls were facing, where they had a lot of traffic in their email list. They had a lot of people clicking the link, but then they were never converting into clients. So they were like having all this traffic, amazing opening rates on their email newsletter, people clicking, like that's everything we want. But then boom, she would lose the person. And so we looked at her sales page and I could tell why. Because in the first few seconds, you think about it, a store, a sales page, a reel, a story slide, all of that, we need a hook. If you know me and you come back to my videos and you know how good they are and how much you have a good time when you're with me on this channel, then you're gonna come back even if I have a little bit of a weaker hook, a weaker title. But if you don't know me and it's the first time we are meeting, first, hi, I love you. I didn't meant to say I love you, like I'm going fast. But hi, I'm happy to meet you. Like, welcome to the channel. In here, we talk about all things feminine self-psychology, running a business like a woman, making millions like a hot girl. And this is where you don't get lost into the bro marketing tactics, but you also don't get lost into the feminine embodiment tantrika world of like manifesting all of your dreams and you never have a strategy behind it. This is really where we get all of that together so that we have epic results and you feel so aligned and you lead with your heart, but also you build the kind of brand and the kind of name that people cannot help but buy from on fucking repeat. They're like throwing their credit card at you. Anyway, if you don't know me, you won't click on that video because it's going to be suggested somewhere, or you're going to find it through someone and you're going to decide in the very first few seconds if you want to keep watching. This is why I'm doing an enormous amount of work right now into hooking you into your desire. Like, I know you. We know each other. Like, we don't know each other, but we know each other. Like, I know a lot about you. I know a lot about your desires. I know why you are on YouTube or scrolling for a podcast. I know that you're very ambitious. I know that you're running a business, either in the early stages of business, or even if it's been like 6-7 years and it's still feeling like the early stages of business and you're not where you want to be. But I also know that you have a heart of gold and you have good intentions and you're so freaking good at what you do that it's so frustrating, and it should even be illegal that bitches with half of your talent are doing better than you. It's just so unfair. And I know so many other things about you, but it's not the topic of this video. So my point is, if you know me and you're already obsessed with me, which is, what tends to happen in my life, I'm just so annoying, am I not? So if you don't know me, the only way you're going to come into my store is if I have a good storefront. The storefront is your hook. And then let's jump into messaging. Messaging is deeper than just a hook. It's how you talk to your people. I'm talking to you. You see what I just did? I'm talking to you, and I know I'm talking to you. You know what I mean? Like I know who you are, even if I don't know who you are. I know your ambition, I know your struggles, and I know your deepest desires, and I want to take you to those desires. And so what I used to do for so many years, if you listen to other podcast episodes, I just talk to myself, I think, and not just to myself, I also talk to what I think people need to hear and to be convinced that my work is important. So I'm really in that convincing energy. Right here, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to convince you to work on your messaging. I'm trying to convince you to work on your hooks, because I know your work deserves to be fucking highly, highly, highly compensated for. But I'm not trying to convince you that this work and hiring a business coach and all of that is important, because I know it's important. I know you already know that. I know you're already aware of your problems. So when I even talk to your problems, I talk about it as in like, I feel you, I know you, and I know what it's like, girl, and it's painful, and I know what you're going through, and I have empathy for you. And it drives me crazy too. You have no idea. I think my style of coaching is 100% different. You will not find anything like that on the market, because of how deeply I care about my clients and how deeply I truly, genuinely feel for them. And that's the kind of premium experience that I want for my clients, of being so close to them. They trust me with their lives. And that's what happens. Like when they trust me with a large investment that is usually tends to be really scary, like investing in ourselves, we know it. It's fucking scary every time we do it. Whether it's for a course that is like a $40 course or a 15,000 mentorship program, no matter where we are in terms of pricing, it's always scary. Why I have no problems investing 40 euros in a skirt or a foundation or a lip gloss. Speaking of which, if I say the word lip gloss, I just have to put it on. But why is it so scary to invest in ourselves? That could be a whole entire other podcast episode. That's not the point. The point is, like, if you're trusting me with your business, your dream, your life, and your energy, I want to know your name. I want to know your dog's name. I want to know your daycare schedule, your cycle, and probably more than I should on your sex life. Like, this is literally how I position myself as a premium brand, is because of the level of care I have for my clients. Let me use this opportunity to tell you just an anecdote, because we love to go into tangents in this podcast. We're not afraid, because the goal is also to have a good time together. But I really want to share with you something that happened to me this week. So I was shopping for an even higher level of mentorship. And I've heard someone recently say that they have been with their business coach for the last 5 years at least, and they're just reconducing it again and again. And I never had that. And I was like, oh, I really want that. The point to this person was like, just the same way I wouldn't change therapists every 5 to 9 months, I don't want to change my business coach because she knows me and everything. And I was like, wow, I really want to find that one person that can carry me from where I'm at right now to where I'm going and beyond, and see me and see this whole journey. And I even regret that I didn't hire someone when I was really just starting out and kept with that one person, but I never found that one person, if you know what I mean. And so I'm on the market shopping for 101, and there's this girl that really activates me through her content, and she's so good, and I've got so inspired by all the things that she shared. And I'm like, if I get really inspired and I kind of want to copy someone, I'm trying to be like, let me try to hire them, so I don't copy them, but I learn the mechanics and the strategies and the behind the scenes of why they activate me so much, why they're so good with their content, why I really love to be around them, why I feel this impulse to buy from them. I'm going back and forth in the DMs and I'm asking for her one-on-one container. And she said this one thing that gave me the ick, and I knew I wasn't hiring her. She doesn't do sales calls, but I want to make sure we're the right fit because I'm looking for someone that can be with me with that longevity, or thinking that I'm going to be with someone for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Like, I don't know like how long I'm going to be, but I want someone like that who knows my journey and it's so personal and everything. She doesn't do sales calls, so I want to make sure that she can be that person for me. I'm the paying customer, right? Like, I'm putting my money onto her. She is a service provider. She provides a service to me. So I'm giving her a little context of where I'm at, what has been my trajectory of my business. A few longer voice messages. And she's like, hey babe, love that you shared that with me. She was really respectful. And I still adore the girl. I think she's amazing. I still adore her work. I just know she's not the one for me. She's not my match. She's not my perfect match. But I'm sending her those voice messages and she's like, hey, I love that you're sharing me that, but can you summarize? Basically, like, she doesn't have time. And it's not like I was asking for free coaching, right? I was inquiring about her services, which is wild to me. It's like walking into a store. Imagine you're like in a store and you're holding a dress and you go to the employee in the store and you're like, can I ask you some questions about how it fits and the sizing and the fabric? And she's like, no, I don't have time. What would you do? You would put the fucking dress back and leave. Yet somehow in the coaching world, too many mentors act like asking questions is like an inconvenience or something. I don't do sales calls somehow became the biggest flex in the industry. So you are supposed to invest your hard-earned money and not ask a single question. It sounds a little culty to me. Some people, listen, they even do secret offers. They do invisible offers. You just pay them money and then you discover what you bought. This is insane to me. This is insane how it's so culty. It shows really good marketing and really good community building that people trust those people so much that they're just paying for nothing. Can you imagine that in real life in a store? You're just buying something and they're like, I'm not telling you what you're getting. You don't even know if it's what you need or what you want or what are you buying? It's insane to me and it's so dangerous and it's so culty. This is the part of the coaching industry that are driving me insane. And I'm like, no. I'm like, just no. Like, we don't do that. We don't do that to people. It's their lives. It's their money. They have worked hard, and even if they didn't work hard, it's still their resources, and they trust you, and you build like a following, a cult following, where you don't even have to provide any value. I'm sorry, but no. When I put my money into someone, I want to know that they are gonna serve me. I'm buying with my head on my shoulders. I want a return on investment. I invest into something because it's gonna give me something. It's just like all those people making you pay to be in their energy. And it's all fluff. They're charging so much money and they're not teaching anything. They're not helping you with anything. They don't have any strategy. It's just vibes. Oh my God. Don't get me started. Why am I so mad? And that's the thing. You are not even asking for free coaching. I get the whole sense of boundaries. You need to have a sense of boundary when you're online. You cannot be coaching people in your DMs and receiving like super long voice notes. You're just asking questions about the thing you might spend thousands on. Somehow, your time became less valuable than theirs. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. To me, honestly, it was giving like big Primark energy. It was fast, it was rushed, chaotic, zero care. And it's not because the employees are rude as persons, it's just that it's the standard when you go to Primark. They don't give a fuck about the customers. It's high traffic, low attention, no time for nuance. And some coaches, they sell exactly like that. Now imagine you're walking into Hermes. I'm going to say it the French way because it sounds really even better, even more luxe. When you go to Hermes, my grandparents are really into designers like that. And of course, Hermes, you don't do better than them in terms of the luxurious. So we go into the store in the south of France with them. When you go to Hermes, they offer you water, coffee, even champagne. If you ask a question, they lean in, they listen, they treat you like someone who matters. And that's even before you actually purchase anything. So luxury isn't just in the price tag, it's in the presence, the care. So you cannot just claim that you're a Birkin if the experience isn't matching the level. And that's what I felt with this girl. She has this big online presence and she's very strong and fiery and beautiful. And again, I love her work. I admire her work so much. She has mastered things that I dream of mastering, and I love her energy. But you cannot call yourself a Birkin and you cannot have this strong branding of so powerful if the experience doesn't match. But everyone has their reasons, so I'm not blaming anyone. Personally, I still do sales calls because of what I shared with you. If you're investing your time, your energy, and your money, if you're stretching yourself, because usually it's a stretch. I don't have any clients. I mean, my clients are full fuck yes, I want to work with you, but it's still like an edge. Just like every time I invest in myself, it's always like, I always hold my breath a little. Even if I'm excited, even if I'm invested in my future, in becoming better, acquiring better skills, and being supported to the degree that I really want to, it's still like always a little edge, and then I lean into it and it feels good. I'm trying to always invest in this way, but it's always a little pause of But if you're doing that to me and trusting me enough, I will know your dog's name, your cycle, and probably way more than I should about your sex life. Because this is what high-level premium support looks like. This is what it actually takes. When we work one-on-one, depth and context are not just extra. They're literally the fucking job. They're literally the fucking job. This is why we work one-on-one. And if Hermes can offer you champagne for a $250 scarf, your coach can offer basic respect for a container that is $5K. At least the standard that is business activator. If you want that Hermes level mentorship. And by the way, my doors are open now, but also there is a very limited amount of seats, just like not everyone can have a Birkin. And of course I say that because I want to have full capacity for my clients. I'm so hands-on. Can we circle back to all of that? I just wanted to tell you this anecdote because it was really funny to me how some people they position as high level, but high level and premium means different things to different people. So to circle back, because now I think I lost you. We went into so many tangents. I'm going to bring you back to where we started initially. If you're not turning the 6 people in your audience into premium buyers that are so freaking happy to pay for your services, even if they feel the pause, they're so content, they're so happy, they're so excited to work with you, no matter what you offer. If you're not achieving that, it can be because of your messaging. It can be because you're still speaking to people from high school trying to prove how your work is important, how it matters. When you start talking to the people who is already ready to buy, who already knows that they are looking for you, you are speeding the process so much more because you don't have to convince anyone. They're ready to buy. They walk themselves to the checkout. And that can be achieved with good messaging. See, as practitioners, we are so obsessed with our craft and the vehicle that brings people from point A to point B, or what we do. So we're going to take examples so it's very clear. If you are a fitness coach and your messaging is still around, you're going to get amazing personalized support every single week from me so that you can reach your dream body and be confident. This is very weak in terms of messaging. I'm not throwing my money at that. But if you're telling me that I'm going to boost my metabolism and burn fat on autopilot so that I can fit into all of my pre-pregnancy clothes and look the hottest I've ever looked, to the point where I cannot stop checking myself out in mirrors. Like I'm walking in the streets and I have to check myself out in the car reflections because of how hot I am. And my man is literally so obsessed because I feel so good. I radiate this kind of confidence that make me feel good with clothes on and with clothes off. And I'm gonna have shitloads of energy to play with my daughter. If you're telling me that, I'm like, this is what I want. I can really project myself in the scenery. I'm throwing my money at you. If you're a relationship coach, and you're saying, how do you heal your attachment style? And how are you going to revisit your traumas so that you heal from them, so that you can finally manifest, a healthy relationship? Like, are you throwing your money? We're not throwing our money to that. But if you're telling me that I'm going to stop having a shitty dating life and attracting unavailable men and finally meet someone that makes me feel so cherished, someone who is so ready to be devoted to me, attracting the kind of man who is ready to be a husband. I'm going to be able to be myself fully without the fear of him running away. And I'm going to be able to say when I'm mad and to say when I'm excited and to voice all of my desires in a way that is healthy. And this man is not going to walk away, and that I'm going to feel comfortable if we ever go through a fight of him leaving the room or leaving the space and taking his own space without feeling triggered. This is healing your attachment wound. This is the same thing, except that now you're selling the end result. You're not selling the vehicle. But as practitioners, we are so obsessed with our craft. I love the examples in the coaching industry because I'm a coach myself and this is most of my clients, but I also work with other things like clothing brands or photography or artists, healers. Nobody gives a shit about your Reiki session. They're signing for your Reiki session because they want the end results. And when we're practitioners, we are so obsessed with the fact that Reiki is fucking amazing. Or going through a photo shoot can change your life. And so you're so obsessed with your own craft because you know the magic of it. And you know the kind of results it gives, but usually we tend to lead our marketing with the vehicle and not the end results. And nobody gives a shit about the vehicle. I don't give two fucks about healing my attention wound. And I've done it. I've healed a lot of my attachment wound. So hard to say for a French girl. I've done it. But I've done it when it was sold to me, as in, you're going to become the one so that you can meet the one. I was never sold that I'm going to do that. That was just the transformation, the process. So this is what I tell my clients all the time. We need to step out of the practitioner role or the one offering the service because we know how good it is. I did the same. Take my example. For the longest time, I'm selling you like, oh my God, you're gonna have so much structure and build systems. And now if I'm telling you about systems, I'm telling you, you're gonna learn the systems that are gonna do the heavy lifting for you so that you can run your business without burning out. And you can be held and supported by your business. And you're gonna become the kind of woman who doesn't need 10,000 followers to make $10,000. That hit different. But for the longest time, I was talking about the structure and the strategy. And first of all, it's vague, it's fluffy, and people don't throw their money to gain clarity or structure, even though that's what they need. That's what they need. That's what we do when we aren't together, but that's not why they sign. This is the art of conversion and messaging. So when I said if you're not turning the 6 people in your audience into customers, then there is one of 3 things. You're not capturing their attention, you're not talking to the right people, or your messaging sucks. Imagine you have your ideal client watching everything you do, but everything you're talking about is structure or attention wound or the personalized meal plan. Maybe she is there in your audience. Maybe she's looking at you, but you don't ignite desire in her. You don't talk to what she actually cries about at night. You don't talk to that thing that she almost won't admit to herself. This is what I'm learning hardcore in every single messaging courses that I have followed this year. And I've invested a lot in me and a lot of money in those courses. And I'm giving you all of this condensed wisdom for free here because I really want to help you, because it matters so much in our businesses, to the point that now I have 2 folders on my phone. I have the great copy. So if I see a copy that really talks to me, I take a capture of that and I put this in the folder, and I have not optimal or room for improvement. And I just go through this and I see just how shitty it is when, especially artists, they do that a lot. They use like such complicated languages and it's so fluffy and fairy and woo-woo. And sometimes it's so great to have that in your brand as part of the branding, as part of the vibe, what people are going to feel in you. But in order to sell, it's a different story. If you want to sell, you need to be clear about what they're actually getting, what's in it for them. And so you will never be crying about the algorithm ever again, right? You will just be the kind of woman who wakes up to her phone full of, oh my God, you're in my head. This is what you want. This is what you want. When you know you're doing a great job with your marketing and your marketing is improving, you start to get those texts of, oh my God, that was me. Oh my God, you're in my head. Oh my God, I cannot believe you just said that. That's exactly me. I can relate so much. How did you know? How did you know is basically the emotion that we want to evoke. And then you position yourself as the solution to that. So it also requires many other things, right? But I guess for the sake of this episode, we're going to wrap up all of that. Grab their attention with a great hook. Learn the art of creating a great hook with using your story. People also resonate a lot with stories. This is what I'm trying to do so much. Like basically this whole podcast is just me rambling about everything that I've learned this year that made my brand 10 times more powerful and that helped me to jump back into work after 2 years of motherhood with so much more power. But again, so much more conviction and just like so much more drive and like no more hustle, no more burnout. It takes many different things and it would be too long to go in everything in one video. Grabbing attention, talking to the right people, and improving your messaging so that if you are talking to the right people already, you're sure that you're converting those people by creating the outcome, the scenery of what they're going to be able to do on the other side. But of course, if you want to stop being burned out by the content creation, I think about my client that I told you in the beginning of this video. She had to do all of this work, better hooks, talking to the right people, not trying to convince people that don't care, that will never turn into buyers, not trying to convince her high school friends that her work is important, coaching is important, being in the best shape of your life is important, but talking to the people who already know that. They're so ready, they want the transformation. And it saves you from a lot of educational content as well, because you're connecting more. You're talking more to like the things that she is experiencing more than like, let me teach you. All of my content used to be that. Let me teach you how to do this, how to do that. This is what you should be doing. This is what you shouldn't be doing. And still, you know, in this podcast, there's a lot of like things that I learned. So I'm like in the teacher role again, but I'm also trying to lead with more of my story and more of my client's story and everything so that we feel connected and this is actually valuable for you. And you actually learn something, not in me like, you should be doing that. And if you don't do that, it's because you're dumb. I don't want you to feel dumb in my content. You're a smart woman. So if you feel dumb in my presence, like that's not going to feel good. And so I stopped talking as if you didn't know the things that I talk about. I know you know the things. It just sometimes feels good to hear a different perspective, a different twist on it, you know? And some of the stuff you may not know, and it's great. You're learning something, but I know you're not dumb, and I don't want to be around stupid people anyway. So if I want to attract more smart women, I need to talk to you as if you're smart. If I want to attract more people that are so ready to step into that kind of woman that turns every single opportunity into a paying customer from her heart, leading with like, I genuinely want to help. If I know that I'm talking into that woman that is stepping into her next level, really taking on the identity of a powerful leader, I need to ignite that in you as I'm talking to you. If I'm talking about like 4 ways to improve your conversion rates, I don't know, like I'm talking to you, I'm talking to your heart, I'm talking to us, you know, we're bonding here. So all of those 3 aspects are really important. That was my point today. I know we went on so many tangents. That's the whole goal of Full Circle. That at some point we come back full circle. But also to wrap what I was saying about my client is that she also needed like a whole system for her content so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, so that she can actually repurpose and actually find a way to really talk to the right people. And that's something that it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of skills. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know everyone is like, you could just like turn anything like that. Boom, you get it. Oh yeah, it's good for marketing because you want to throw your money to the shortcut. When you invest in coaching anyway, it's always a shortcut. But when someone is telling you that it's going to happen overnight with you doing absolutely no work, no, we want to build what is create no work in the future. But it's not going to come out of thin air. I want to be really realistic with you, really realistic with my clients. I always say that, depending on where you're at on your journey. Some people, they're so far along already. It's been years that they're in business. They just want to step into that next level and they just want to improve their messaging, marketing. They want to be held to a higher capacity and really, you know, they're already rocking it. Those people usually need even better systems, but it's even stronger if you're at the early stages. Then you need to build that foundation in the systems that are going to do the heavy lifting for you down the line. But to create those systems is not going to happen with no effort. So I'm just activated. I'm just sharing that because I was naive and I believed the people that told me that it gets to be effortless and everything. And it worked for a while, but then it collapsed and I don't want that for you. If I made those mistakes and I took one for the team, I'm happy I did so that you don't have to make the same mistakes. All right, girl. I think that's it for us this week. I'm going to be running a free masterclass called Pépites, how to sign dream fuck yes clients on repeat. We're going to cover so much and it's going to be free until it's not, because then it's going to be sold as like a one-off masterclass. But it's going to be for free initially. So if you want to grab it while it's free, there will be a link below for you to join that, learn both the strategy and the energetics that are necessary to bring your absolute best dream client that you love to work with no resistance. You're just like, they wire the money, they walk themselves to the checkout. You don't have to hustle for every sale that you make. I'm going to share all of my best secrets, and I'm going to share the strategies that I paid thousands of dollars and invested hours of my life learning, and I'm going to give it all of that for free. I know, I'm so cool. What can I do? I want to help. So you can join that. Or if you know that you're ready for the next level and you don't want just a masterclass, you want the full fucking package. As I said, my spots are very limited and they're filling out fast. I haven't even launched to the public. I'm keep pushing back this fucking launch because so many things are happening in the back end of my business. Part of that is signing clients before I even launched, so I wasn't fully ready for the onboarding process. So if you want to secure your spot or even join the wait list, if by the time you listen to this episode, the spots are already filled, there will be a wait list that you can join if you know that we are this match made in heaven. And until next time, go rock it, make some sales, make some money, girl, be of service of your people, build that high level premium service that you're going to be proud of, build that brand that people are obsessed with and cannot help but buy from on repeat. Go crush it this week and go be yourself and have pleasure doing it and being so feminine. I love you and I talk to you soon. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Mwah!